Hey guys, Pinnacle here. So today we're going to look at the patch notes and we're going to have a look at the test server with patch 1.0. Now this patch is supposed to give us some pretty sexy stuff. Some of the stuff that is changing is the ability to climb and vault over obstacles. Now this is going to replace the requirement that we currently have to do, which is the crouch jump. So I'm going to be comparing the simplicity between those two. So although vaulting and climbing is the main deliverable with this patch, it's the thing that the users, the players, have been looking forward to the most. Other deliverables within the patch will consist of optimization. Now this client optimization, which is going to reduce the stress on our CPU, memory, graphics cards, etc.
I don't need that many rounds of the SKS, I guess. That guy was really noisy on his feet though, right? It's like he was wearing like, I don't know, shoes made of crackers or something. It's like,
we're going to have less lag when loading terrain or when there's multiple players in sight on the screen.
Who am I?
There's also server optimization. They say they've increased performance by adjusting the network throughput. Now, does this mean that along with the client optimization, does this mean that we'll see a reduced amount of desyncs? When we're shooting someone, when we get shot, when we see a player all of a sudden jolt to the left rather than a smooth action, wondering how we got shot sideways from a shotgun when we clearly hit him in the head first. These kind of desync issues, are they going to be a thing of the past, or are they just going to be drastically reduced, or maybe not impacted at all?
So you went in there and you came out. Was there someone around?
Now, some of the other stuff that has been done is the ballistics overhaul, which is bullet drop. So before, when you're looking at shots of over 300 meters, your guns are affected by gravity. And that's it, really. You're getting bullet drop. Now, what you're actually going to have now is you're not only going to be affected by gravity, you're going to be affected by friction as well.
Jesus, that was a bit much.
And by friction we mean air resistance, you know.
Keep moving.
You're going to be firing a weapon over 300 meters. Gravity is going to be pulling the bullet down very slightly. But the friction, the resistance of the air is going to be slowing the bullet down. And because of the bullet slowing down, it's going to drop quicker. So your shots now at 300 meters, which before were only affected by gravity, are now going to be affected by resistance as well. So that's going to change the way we snipe and the way we shoot with long-range assault rifles with an 8x scope, etc. Guns themselves have also been balanced. I don't know how, there's no real details on what they've done to the guns, but we may see some difference that the SCAR or the M4 is no longer the deemed assault rifle for all-round purposes, and the AKM is no longer the most powerful for close range, and the M16 is no longer the best precision for long range. We may see a change in the way that they operate. It may have been mixed up a little bit. We'll have to wait and see on that one. The lenses, the red dots, the holographic sights, the scopes have all changed as well. The way we target, the way we illuminate the scopes has been changed. We can decrease and increase the illumination of the scopes by using the middle mouse button.
I'm terrible with a 4x. I'm terrible with a SCAR, with a SKS, to be honest. I'm sure there was a guy in that tower, right? Now, I was shooting the wrong, I was using the cross bit rather than the point bit. The chevron, right? So I'm not using this point up here, I'm using a bit here. Just over his head, totally. The shots are just going over his head, all the time.
Now if you're like me and you have your middle mouse button already allocated to switch between primary and secondary weapons, then it's probably not going to be much use to you. I didn't personally see any issues with the brightness of the red dot, the 2x on holographic. I never used a holographic anyway, it was horrible, I don't like it. But the red dot, it was fine. I never had any issues with that at all. Anyway, enough waffling on about the changes. I've been speaking for so long about the changes. Let's just see the changes. Let's do some comparisons now between the current live environment and the test server and see if we can see any major differences between the two. Okay guys, so we're going to be testing the differences between the current live and the test server. Now, the first one we're going to be testing the difference between is the audible noise that the aeroplane makes. So this is fairly noisy. I'm not even sure if you can hear me correctly over the noise that the aeroplane's making. So now we're on the test server and I can already hear the difference. It feels like my microphone, my volume is not turned up. Also, the sound of free falling in the parachute is also not as loud as it was previously. So the next thing we're going to be testing is vehicle noise. So this is the live server on a bike. A bit on the eardrums. Oh yeah! This is putting a smile on my face. I quite like the sound of the new bike. Test out the handling of the buggy because the buggy is supposed to be tarmac. It's sliding still. It just feels the same as a Darcy. It's, it doesn't feel like a buggy should. A buggy should feel like a mixture between. Look at the suspension on this thing, right? You should be able to handle like a go-kart. I'm sliding all over the place, so it's not good. Okay, so let's try the buggy. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Doesn't seem as fast as doesn't seem as fast as the UAZ. I don't know if they've changed that. Handling is a lot better on the tarmac. I mean, previously all the cars felt the same when you were driving them. This one feels a lot more solid. It doesn't slide out as much. So we're just looking for a Dacia, and we'll
trial Dacia out. A little bit of squeech there, a little bit of screech. Now one thing to note that the tyre screech and squeal as you apply the brakes on tarmac isn't that prominent, but it's also there whether you're braking on the grass or the tarmac.
On the live server, braking on the tarmac or the grass makes the same sound from the tyres.
So again, this is not the most stable of. Oh, this is yeah, this is horrible. Now, is it going to change? I'm going to try the mountain roads. And the steering on this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. So the UAZ. Oh. It actually has gear changes. I quite like that. Now let's try with boost. It's no longer deafening to my eardrums. Oh, the brakes are... Okay, so let's listen to the sound. So here we go, a Dacia in the rain. Sounds a bit like a Jeep. Whoa. Now there's a big difference with the handling of the Dacia. A very big difference. It's all over the place. And even on the grass. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no. The Dacia handling has changed dramatically.
So on to vaulting. So the only thing we can do on the production server at the moment to get in and out of these windows is the crouch jump. And as you know, this is a bit hit and miss sometimes. And yes, you're really good at it. If you're really good at it, you should be able to crouch in and out of any windows at all. Now, for some reason, I couldn't get back into this window. Even though I was crouch jumping, I tried several times on and off video and I couldn't get in. But this window I can get in quite easy. Well, not easily, but after a couple of attempts I can get in using crouch jump. So onto the test server now in exactly the same location.
Okay, so that didn't seem to be, that was effortless. Okay, good, good. vaulting, we're jumping. What are we doing here? So we just press space. Okay, so we don't even have to press forward. We can just, if we're next to it, we just press space and it will automatically go through. There's no run up needed. There's no pushing forward at the same time. What are you doing, mate? So in summary, the vehicle noises are much improved. The single bike, top speed's about the same. On the sidecar attachment, the top speed is faster, but they both suck, live and test server. With the sidecar, the steering and traction is terrible. The buggy, the traction is amazing. The buggy handles so much better, like it should, but it doesn't appear to be as quick as it was before. You now need to use boost to keep top speed, whereas before on the production server, you only needed to use boost to get to top speed. The Dacia is terrible. The Dacia is a terrible car. I mean, even now on the production server, it's not great. But they've changed it to make it even worse. I mean, it sounds like a small version of a Jeep with a hairdryer as an engine. And the traction is even worse now on the test server. You go on the tarmac, and one thing I've noticed about all these vehicles, on the tarmac, the traction is a lot better, as it should be. You go onto the grass, you go onto rough terrain, oh my god, it's a whole new world. It's an experience, and I think this is really what it should be like, because on the production server at the moment, it doesn't seem to matter whether you go on tarmac or grass. It's exactly the same. Now, the Dacia's handling is absolutely terrible. You stick it on the grass, you're all over the place. You're just going to be drift heaven, I tell you. It's that bad. What else is there? There is the UAZ, the Jeep. This thing is an amazing vehicle now. I managed to get this thing to 130 kilometers per hour. Even on the test server, I've not managed to get this over 100 with boost. So that's a big difference. Now, there's one thing I do not like about the vehicles that they've changed in terms of the sound of them, is the tyre screech when you stop. It is very high pitched. It is a very it's an irritating squeal, and it does actually hurt your ears. So if I was going to give some feedback on this, the sound's brilliant, keep them as they are. The vehicle stability, a much better improvement. But the tyre squeal when you stop, when you brake, is not really good. You need to change that. You need to down tone it a bit. Maybe change the actual pitch of the tyre squeal, because that does hurt the ears. So that's patch 1.0, as you can see on this background video here. The vaulting and the climbing is pretty good. It's pretty effective. I'm sure there's going to be some ways you can do movements or climb buildings or do stuff that's not really intended or wasn't thought through, but it's part of the teething process. The decrease in volume from the aeroplane and the skydiving is very much welcomed, because these noises at the start of the game, I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one muting the in-game sound while trying to speak to my teammates on TeamSpeak or Discord. Now, there's a lot I haven't covered in this video. The sights, the scopes, the illumination. I haven't given you any video clips or examples of that. There's also a lot of differences in the hit areas and the base damage that other weapons do. Also, one thing to note as well, which is, it doesn't really matter because the squad is only 4 people, but the UAZ no longer has 5 seats. Whereas before you could sit in the middle of the back seat, you can only sit to the left or the right now. There is no space in the back seat of the UAZ for a 5th person. Now, one last thing they put in the patch notes is regarding cheating. They're saying that the volume of players who use cheats has been reduced by 25% overall. And the volume of malicious extreme cheaters has been reduced by 50%. Now, I don't know the difference between those two. What is an extreme cheater? I'm assuming this is the guy that's been using, the aim bots, the speed hacks, the ghost hacks, and all the other, recoil hacks, bullet drop-off stuff. All that, I expect that's malicious. So that's an overview to 1.0 patch.
Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. If not, don't worry. Give it a dislike. It's fine. Check my other videos as well. And if you like them, subscribe. I'm out of here.